Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. Tonight we'll be talking about the role of technological universities in the Egyptian market. And as usual, we'll begin our episode with a look at the major economic headlines making the stream for this past week. And we begin with the cabinet meeting that took place earlier today under Premier Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, and that took place at the new administrative capital. And the meeting discussed a number of key political, economic and social files. It also tackled the latest international developments with a focus on the repercussions of the Russian-Ukrainian crisis. Topping the agenda of the meeting was a number of important ministerial bills and decisions meant to achieve economic and social stability, as well as to encourage investment. The cabinet also probed the work progress at different national projects that are being implemented across the country, including those to develop villages and rural areas as part of the Decent Life presidential initiative. And Premier Madbouli chaired a meeting on Tuesday to follow up on the development efforts in the Damietta Furniture City, the DFC project. The meeting was attended by Finance Minister Mohammed Maid, Industry Minister Ahmed Samir Damietta, Governor Manal Awad, and a host of respective officials. The Premier noted that the development of the city comes under His Excellency President Assisi's directives to support the furniture industry so as to be able to compete regionally and internationally and create more job opportunities and increase exports and the national income. And Tourism and Antiquities Minister Ahmed Isa and Transport Minister Kamel Al-Wazir held a meeting to follow up on the progress in implementing the strategy of promoting yacht tourism in Egypt and making sure that there are no hindrances facing it. This came within the framework of the directives of His Excellency the President to promote this type of tourism in Egypt and apply an integrated strategy for that purpose. The get-together also came within the framework of periodic meetings held by the Ministers of Tourism and Transport to discuss joint files between their ministries. Time now for a short break here on Business Insider. When we come back, we will be introducing you to our distinguished guests who will be with us here in the studio. We'll be talking about the role of technological universities in the Egyptian market. We'll also be watching a report on the topic. Please do not go away. Welcome back, dear viewers. With us now here in the studio is Engineer Mohammed Salim Salman. He's an expert in the field of technology and also the board member of the Arab Sustainable Energy Council. A very good evening to you, Engineer Salim. Always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you for
happy Ramadan for you.
Happy Ramadan, and thank you for being with us on this rainy night. Thank you, sir, very much. And allow us, please, and dear viewers as well, to watch first a report on the topic of tonight's episode, the role of technological universities in the Egyptian market.
Chairperson of the Board of Directors of the Chamber of Information and Communications Technology Industry, Khalid Ibrahim, reviewed the most prominent axes of industry development and digital transformation that the Chamber is currently working on before President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The presentation was held in the presence of Minister of Communications and Information Technology, Amr Talat, and President of the Federation of the Egyptian Industries, Mohammed El-Swidi. This came at the ICT's Pavilion at an exhibition held on the sidelines of the annual International Forum and Exhibition for Industry organized by the Federation of Egyptian Industries. Ibrahim briefed the President on the Chamber's role in the development of the information and communication technology industry, explaining that Egypt faces a great opportunity to export its services, just like India has done, achieving $170 billion in digital exports by paying attention to small and medium-sized companies, raising the capabilities of these companies and qualifying them for export, in addition to increasing the share of their participation in government and public projects in order to support increasing confidence in the local product. He also reviewed the Chamber's vision on investing in training and qualifying human cadres from university graduates and raising their digital tools in the software industry, which contributes to qualifying a generation of fresh graduates to work in the field of specialized software and digitization, achieving Egypt's dream to increase its exports of solutions, softwares, and digital services to foreign markets. He explained that the implementation of the project to train 500,000 promising youth is one of the most important projects adopted by the Chamber, which will result in a clear increase in Egyptian exports from this sector, which reflects the importance of Egyptian cadres as one of the main pillars in Egypt's 2030 vision for sustainable development.
All right, thank you very much, Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid, for this report. And back here in the studio with engineer Mohammed Salim Salman, the technology expert, also the board member of the Sustainable Energy Council, the Arab Sustainable Energy Council. Engineer Salim, so when we say that the role of the technological universities in the Egyptian market, first of all, what is exactly meant by technological universities?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you for this invitation.
Thank you, sir.
And even the climate, it's becomes good, especially to come here today.
Thank you, sir,
okay?
very much.
Really, I have noticed recently that there is the technological universities have been established by the law of 72 for 2019. And this is very important factor to improve the development of the country. And even this, the law, there is also the executive policy has been also issued just last year in April by the Prime Minister. So this is to support the economic and development of our country. Technological, it's most important to make the postgraduates can join the job immediately without long term or long training. It is we faced this challenge long time ago even in electric department or electric fields. We trained, for myself, I trained around 6 months once I joined the electric field at 1984. So now we are ready, the graduates, the postgraduates of technological university can join the job immediately. The most important here that there is 3 universities have been established by 2019, and today or this 2022 there is extra 7 universities have been also start to work in that direction.
And the point is that those are universities, not institutions, right?
It is, they are the universities, but the postgraduate is a technical,
right?
Not like engineers. It's
right.
Mentioned that 2 plus 2.
Right.
2 for after the if it is after 3 years, okay, then he can join the university for 2 years, then provide a project. If you want to continue to have a bachelor degree, then he can take extra 2 years.
Right.
But in the same time, as we also remember that the Naqib al-Muhandisin,
the Syndicate of Engineers.
Yes, the Engineers Syndicate, the Egyptian Engineers Syndicate claims or complained due to the large number of engineers every year. 35,000 engineers graduated every year. How this amount of the huge number of engineers can join the syndicate every year, and at the same time they haven't that high qualification of education and also training. So the universities now can take a part of these students to be a technical, Then this technical, they have a good skills, a good knowledge, and the behaviors. So the competency based on the market needs. One more point to link this education with the factors. What's the industry's needs? I have idea, or I have information that some countries, some companies import foreigners to do the job here in Egypt. How come? We should prepare ourselves to get and gain these skills and to work in the factories. And we should export also our human resources to outside of Egypt. Okay? So really these 10 technological universities very important and will add a value to the economy of Egypt. And also one more point I would like to express here. There is a protocols signed between these universities with the private sector and industry to get the entrepreneurship of these students to work and invested by a local or by foreigners to improve the product. It is a program. It is not only just a training to gain certain skills, but also it is for a few of them, which is after assessment. If it is good enough, then and it is valid to the economic, then there is investors can invest in this idea and make it in progress and even establish a small and medium-sized companies for that.
Right. So, what are indeed the competency-based market needs in Egypt, and why is it that we need more technicians than engineers at the moment?
It is really most important issue regarding to the high competency engineers. It is not only education, and this is, should be added in, even in theoretical or in our tertiary education, to add the soft skills to the engineers. It is not only technical issue, but also it is, should be behavior, competency, complete competency, skills, knowledge, and behavior or attitude. Okay, so this certain of competences should be added to the our postgraduates and should be educated in college and universities as well as in technological universities and also in the normal technological.
Okay, so at the moment, I mean, we've been talking about this for years, Engineer Selim. The fact that we need a smaller number of engineers, but a bigger number of technicians.
Yes.
So are we making any, of course, the fact that we have 3 and then we will have 10 technological universities, this will certainly make a difference. But are we taking big enough strides, in your view, to walk to that path, the path that we should have taken years ago, decades ago maybe?
Sure. We depend on the 3 years after the 3 years diploma as a technician, and all the high institutes for that, to also still a technician in high diploma. But now it is the student or the postgraduate can have 4 years education and training and gain the skills in his hand. I remember one issue, it's inside of my talk.
Yeah.
In 1987, I joined or interviewed by American company. Then I said, okay, I am graduated of Faculty of Engineering and training this certificate and something. Then he told me what you can do with your hand. This is most important. What you can do with your hand. Your hand and your job, you can do it with yourself. This is the value of you in the market. So, by technological universities, this is an important issue to make these graduates or postgraduates to work in the field or work in several fields. And as you know, now we have a different and advanced technology. Especially, really, I respect the initiatives that initiated by the communication ministry. This ministry makes different programs for embedded system, for ICT, for artificial intelligence, for every most advanced technologies are applied now in Egypt with the communications ministry.
Right.
Also, at the same time, really, in education ministry and research, they also start a lot of initiatives in this direction also.
I see that there are protocols, right, between our technological universities and their peers abroad, protocols to exchange expertise, to try and benefit from other countries' experience in that regard?
Yes, it is. It is really, as Egypt, we have enough population to cover a lot of countries in our region, and we should be a leader in this direction, really. And to overcome the unemployment ratio here in Egypt, so we can open a lot of opportunities in Arab countries or in Africa. But it is not for a benefit of a benefit of a certain, only one part. We should be ready for that. We should we should study and have technical skills to be deserved to work in this direction.
Could you give us, Engineer Salim, some examples when we say we need technicians or we need an employee with a high skill when it comes to working with his hand? When it comes to, you know, anything that has to do with machines or with, I'm sure this covers sectors like agriculture, like the industry. So can you give us examples of some of the skills that we need and some of the sectors that will benefit the most from those technicians?
I can tell you one issue regarding to the CNC machines. This is in factories. Still the specialist to make the maintenance is brought from outside, foreigners. So we have the skills, but they haven't the sufficient training and opportunity. So if they have this opportunity, they can do it and save this opportunity. One more issue regarding to the power plants, for example, in construction. We started in power plants 1983. At that time, only foreign companies in construction phase, and even if there is subcontractors from local, from Egypt, they just do a certain job under the main contractor of foreigners. But now, due to high caliber and talented technician and engineers, we have a big companies like I can say Orascom, Swedi, many of companies in international world class. So this cannot be done without these technicians and engineers.
Right.
Also, for example, a certain company noticed that it needs technicians for themselves, for the companies. So he started an institution for himself
To develop the skills
to develop
of,
yes
his own labor.
you see
His or her.
yes, for its organization. So he fulfilled the demand. It's same. You remember that once we mentioned regarding to the energy supply side and demand side, what's the demand side of the market? Then the supply side comes from universities should be in high capacity to meet this demand.
Right. Now, I want to ask you about two elements that had been obstacles for a long time to the required goal of increasing the number of technicians in the Egyptian market in comparison to the number, relative, I mean, to the number of engineers. I mean, it's very obvious. I think for decades we've been talking about this, and really not years, decades. We need more technicians and less engineers. Two elements come to mind here. First of all, the social, if I may say so, a social element is that, you know, an engineer, you know, everybody wants his or her child to be an engineer because it's more prestigious than a technician. That's an element. The other element is the pay. I mean, so how are we giving enough incentives to technicians, and how does their pay compare to the pay of engineers? So can you talk to us about these two elements and what strides, if any, we are taking in that regard?
I want to tell you one issue. This is maybe 30 years ago or 20 years ago. Yes, I should be prestigious engineers and not technician to work with my hand. Okay, even but now it is not. Now
we've gotten over that.
Yes, I think that's in social even we consider the technician in high caliber that and also the most of power plants and desalination plants or transportation, most of them depend on the technicians now.
There is a real market for them, that's clear.
Sure.
What about the pay?
And the payment also, incentives there also for the high caliber ones that they can do the job, even engineers can do it. Can't do it. Engineers for design, for something, for upgrading the issue, but most of the work can be done by technicians. And even the postgraduates from the technological universities, they will cover a certain margin of these technologies. Yes. I didn't think that now, from the social point of view, that this is engineer or this is technician. I don't think so.
We're past that.
It is yes, a traditional one.
Okay, and as far as the pay is concerned, again, I mean, a technician usually there is more risk to his or her job. There's a risk element. So are they getting paid back for that risk?
And
the danger they face sometimes in some jobs.
No, that should be insured. There is insurance for the all people who are working in that, and depend on the hazard areas for the type of hazards that the technician can face. All these issues it's in consideration, and the incentives is there also. I think the one engineer is around needs about 30 technicians.
Wow.
You see, yes, this ratio in certain sectors. So technicians are most important, and you cannot operate any sector of factories or even power plants or desalination without technicians. Technicians are very important and most important in our life, really.
Indeed.
And we are proud of them.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Dear viewers, on that note, and due to really a shortage of time, we thank on behalf of you very much Engineer Mohammed Selim Salman, a technology expert and also the board member of the Arab Sustainable Energy Council. Thank you very much, sir. And I really liked it when you said we are proud of our technicians.
Yes, I want to also say
Please, go ahead.
one statement or conclusion.
Go ahead, sir.
It is not just postgraduate and production of our universities. We need a firm, private or government, to manage all these issues. I know there is labor ministry, but does it work on managing the products, the technicians, the high competences labors in proper direction, locally and abroad? This is the firm most important. I requested this from Minister of Electricity by 2009 to really to make labor and or specialists to disseminated all over the Arab region. But at that time it was very hard to make it. It's just if any engineer wants to or technician travel, he will make only for his signature or designation, or it's special for him. But we need how to manage all this. This is most important. It is soft skills, and also that we nominated, Egyptian nominated can be in different countries. And we are really, you can see in Gulf area how Indians makes such a control.
You think Egypt can export technicians, not just use them in our market?
100%, yes.
And this is where our power stems from.
And we should work on that.
resources.
We should work on that. Thank you very much.
Inshallah. Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Engineer Mohammed Salim Salman. Always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. And thank
Thanks.
you for watching Business Insider. Next week, same time, inshallah, is a new episode. This is Muhammad Abdurrahim, and this is good night.